When I was about maybe 10 years old, 12 years old, I can't remember exactly how old it was. I went outside and I was just walking around. I love to be outside. I was probably outside more than I was inside. But I went outside and I was just walking around, and I loved the sky. The sky's one of my favorite things, including the stars. It was daytime, so I couldn't see them. But I was just looking at the sky, I was looking at nature, and I can't really explain what happened, but I just realized that my God had created all of this. And I was just so immensely amazed by this that I asked God right then, and this is the first time that I remember actually making the decision for myself. But I asked God, come into my heart, I want you to lead me, I want you to live in me. And that was the first time I remember making the decision for myself to be a Christian, the decision to let God take over my life. A few years down the road, it was my junior year in high school, and I just felt empty. I felt like nothing mattered about me, nothing else mattered in the world, and I was just frustrated and angry, and I asked God, I said, why can't I understand your will in my life? Why am I not following your path? And I was just angry and upset. We'll come back to that story, but as I was growing up, my parents were actually converted when I was probably about 2 years old. They were the first FCAs, first Christians in our family on both sides, so this is just a new thing for the whole family. And as they were growing in their Christian walk, and as I was growing in my childhood, we were both learning new things. They were learning new morals, new standards, new ways to help me to grow, and I was learning from them. And so sometimes I would get a little bit confused about things. I would get confused as to how I was to live as a Christian, or how I was to grow up as a Christian. And so I started to test the boundaries a little bit. I started to see what I could get away with, what I could do, how I was really supposed to live. But when I had this conversion experience, I wanted to try to put God first in my life. I wanted to let Him take over, and I wanted to give my whole heart to Him. But what I realized is that it wasn't based on a feeling. It was actually based on principle. But I didn't know that at that point, and so I just based it on my feeling. And so if I was feeling bad, then my relationship with God wasn't strong. And if I was feeling good, then my relationship with God was really good. My sister went away to high school before I did, so I was left at home. And I wasn't very happy about that. And then I went to high school, and I ended up going to a different high school than she did. And so I didn't have my sister there as a support for me, and so I just kind of did my own thing. And as I was feeling very empty, I started to fill my heart with things that were not of God. I started to play sports. I got heavily into soccer. I love soccer a lot. And I was the captain of my team. I went into the gymnastics team. I was on volleyball, basketball, anything sports related, you name it, I was in it, I was doing it. And this took up all of my time. I didn't really feel like I had a good handle on school, so I just threw myself into that, and I said, well, if I can be good at one thing, accomplish one thing, then that's good enough for me. And so I let this consume me, basically. And I hung out with people who were not the best influence on me. They did drugs, they drank, whatever. And I just kind of lost a hold of who I was, and I lost a hold of making my own choices and living according to my own principles. And there was a point in high school where I realized what I was missing, but I didn't want to accept it. I didn't want to give my life to God because I knew it meant I would have to change everything else. And so it just kept going downhill from there. But at this point, the story I began with, I was just so furious. I was so angry because I couldn't do it on my own. Because nothing that I was doing was helping my relationship with God. Nothing that I was doing was helping my schooling. Nothing that I could do on my own was helping anything. And so I turned to my Bible. And I came to Psalms chapter 107. It says, "Oh, give thanks to the Lord, for He is good, For his loving kindness is everlasting. Let the redeemed of the Lord say, whom has he redeemed from the hand of the adversary? And it goes on from there to talk about how God brought the Israelites through the wilderness. It goes on to talk about their experience and how God saved them from so many different things. And at that point, I just realized, it just clicked, it's not me at all. There's nothing in me or of me that can be good, and there's nothing in me that can make myself be good. It's all God. It's all his power. And when I realized this, I just decided that no matter what, I would follow God's will, and I would try my hardest to give all of my human tendencies over to him and let him take over my life. I went on to go to a mission trip to Panama, which was really eye-opening for me. And then the next summer I spent with Messiah's Mansion. And just giving my life over to him and letting him work and use me in this way was the best thing I could have ever done, because it took my focus off of myself and it put it on others. When I was giving a tour, I wasn't thinking about myself at all. I was thinking about the people and who I was witnessing to. And just letting God use me was powerful, because it showed me that with him I could truly be strong, and I could truly be that person that I always wanted to be, but I didn't know how to be. And a verse that has always stuck with me is in Psalms chapter 46, verse 10. It says, "Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among nations, I will be exalted in the earth." You know, in all the hustle and the bustle of our lives, we can forget that God is the one that's supposed to reign in our lives. But when we just sit down and, you go in nature, or you just go to a place where no one else is around, nothing else can distract you, and you just sit there and think about who God really is and know that he is the Lord of your life. That can be the most powerful thing, and that's why I'm a Christian. It's because there's no one else, there's nothing else like God in this world. And he's the only one who can fill my heart, and he's the only one